Hello. I hope you don't mind. He followed me from the other end of the store. He heard that I was going to be reading some dinosaur-related stuff, and that has an interest. I'm just going to be reading a short section, because my introductions are so long, from the last of the published saur stories so far. I've been teaching so much, and now I'm on strike too. Go. So solidarity makes us strong at Columbia College. But this is a scene from the most recent saur story. And it's The Man Who Put the Bomb. Everybody has been talking about artificial intelligence. No two people can seem to agree on what the heck we're talking about when they do. But all of this reminded me of the fact that the saurs in these stories are bioengineered and therefore by some stretch can be considered, quote, artificial and, quote, intelligent. And I was going to read a section also because they have a, an assistant, Reggie, who predates, all of these little apps that we carry around on our phones. But that's going to be a little bit longer. Here, in this little scene, Nicholas Danner, who worked for the Toyco, the toy company that developed the saurs, is taken one of the younger employees over to the house where the saurs live, because she says, you work for a toy company, you need to learn how to play. And along the way, Axel, enthusiastic as ever, is sort of amazed at Nick. Humans look so strange. They have no hair around the top of their heads, and then they have all this hair covering their faces. And it's like, they look so funny. But he takes Nick upstairs to meet his friend, Preston. And Preston has written 7 novels, if I recall correctly, under the pseudonym of Ellis Lawrence Cartwright. Of course, the bookmark falls out. They, Axel and Nick, returned to the second floor to the workroom. Tom showed Danner Tybor's castle and its owner still downstairs in the Voom awaiting transport to Tyboria. Voom is a little kid's car. Pink. Take that, Greta Gerwig. Geraldine's lab stood across from Tybor's castle, etc. But Axel led Danner to another desk first. Preston had returned to his keypad. Axel hopped down from Danner's arm and stood on Preston's desk. This is my buddy, Preston! Axel introduced the two, though they had already met downstairs. He writes books! I know, said Danner. You do? Danner nodded. Well, I didn't know, I suspected. He turned to Preston. Something in your voice. I knew who you were and what you were. Preston was about to reply when Axel interjected. I didn't know humans could read books, other than Tom. Tom Groverton, who takes care of the saurs at the house. And Tom just sort of says, thanks for noticing. Would you mind if I took a peek? Danner asked Preston. It's been so long since your last novel came out. I don't mind. Preston put his keypad aside. You might give me a hint if you see where I might be straying. I can't imagine the author of The Biographer of Loneliness straying at anything. He nodded thankfully and leaned in to read the words on the screen in front of them. "Do not ask me my tale," cried Sinbad. "It has slept peacefully for 10,000 years. If you raise it now, the world will shake. It will do more than shake. It will transform itself. It will become a new world. The world we create may not welcome us. Are you truly ready to take that chance?" His grandchildren called out, clear and unequivocal, "Yes!" Sinbad, reluctant but obedient, bowed his head. "Then let us begin." Axel, who had been reading along with Danner, repeated the word that most caught his attention. "Yes!" "Why Sinbad?" Danner asked. "Your novels are set in future times and on faraway planets. Sinbad belongs to an older world of legend and myth, doesn't he?" Preston nodded. "It occurred to me one day that Sinbad was an adventurer, so why not a spacefarer?" "But a space guy," said Axel. "But he may also have been a liar." Preston continued. "He was definitely a storyteller. I came up with an idea. 2 of his grandchildren implore him to embark on another journey. The city where they live is threatened by a plague. The grandchildren believe only Sinbad can save them. But he tells them that all his tales of adventure are lies. He is nobody. The grandchildren believe the only lie he ever told was that he was a liar. And so, if only not to disappoint these children whom he loves, he sets out on one more journey. And in the course of that journey, Sinbad discovers all the lies he told were in fact true. The lies had the power to change reality. For better or worse, the world can't be divided so simply between truth and falsehood." And Tom asked, "So how should it be divided?" Preston smiled. "I don't know. It's what I need to find out before I can finish the book." "And what if you don't find the answer?" Danner asked. "Then I will have a very unhappy publisher." Tom and Danner laughed. Axel ran to the edge of the desk and shouted to everyone down below on the floor of the workroom, "Sinbad is a space guy!" And then, remembering Ahmed's tune, one of the five Buddhasaurs playing music downstairs, he sang the words, "Sinbad is a space guy, Sinbad is a space guy." "Have you come up with the title yet?" asked Danner. "I'm calling it The Final Voyage of Sinbad." Final? Last sounded too tentative. Let's give it at that. Thank you very much.